Yes, and I wasn't even really doing much of anything there. 105K on a heavy Defiant non-CF torpedo loadout with one cannon, one Omni beam with over, Terran Task Force, two piece. Yeah, I probably should do a three piece and get a little bit more off of that. And a Quantum Mine, crit D, damage 2 pen. All the fun stuff off of that. So yeah, pretty much just went with a little bit more hull pen for, especially for ISA targets. It's just all sorts of unshielded fun stuff right there. So between the interface quantum distributor and the engineering drift module, a little bit more turn rate with a bit more hull pen, nice job right there. Quantum phase for the three piece, just because I want to keep it strictly canon. Honestly, if I was doing min max DPS, this plus the Terran Task Force Disruptor, which I probably have somewhere around here, somewhere. And then the Torpedo, boom, done. I would drop that, put the Disruptor 4, have that there, and have this console here. Put this console, let me see what I would do. I move this console down, put another one of those hull pens up here. So that way I'm just stacking my engineering consoles with as much hull pen as possible. My stats right now on this ship, not too bad in 134 crit D. Did I even pop this? I can't even remember if I popped this. I was such a baddie if I didn't. Oh, I'm such a baddie. Told you, I am not a great pilot. I'm just a baddie. But yeah, that was that. And pretty damn fun. This is what I miss. If the Defiant had command seating, good game over. Just, ugh. Which, would be a nice selling point for Cryptic if you can actually say, hey, you know what? Pay us 500 Zen and we'll be able to change one of these universal seats or, specialist seats over to whatever other specialty you want. I don't know. That's just like, I don't know. Just a money making idea. Whatever. Like changing mods on weapons, it would be nice too if we could do that. But, we'll see what they can come out with. But yeah, this right here, if you could launch this bad boy on a big target with high yield 3, the debuff stacks and it's a beautiful thing. And the rest of it is just pelt big objects at it, watch them die. Just watch them die. Obviously, I didn't boost these bad boys, but you can see the numbers here. I'm not using anchored, so it's not being artificially boosted with anchored. I'm using pedal to the metal. Should probably get the improved variant on it. You can see the damage, raw damage here with these bad boys. Let me make sure that everything's being boosted accordingly, because the last time this happened, yeah, it is. It's being there. All right, good, goody. Good times. So yeah, that was just that. Somebody said that, hey, SOB's little cannon Defiant did 150. He loaded up with DHCs, one Torp, a mine, and I think he had an Omni. You know what? We'll link SOB's build in the description below, along with his video. He's a way better player than I ever hoped to be, but he did very well with it. 105 with more Torps, less on the energy weapons, as you can see what I did here. Blah, blah, blah. Mines could activate a lot faster. And they would be a lot better if they could activate a lot faster. But, oh well. Mega Kinetic Sharing did its job. Advanced Targeting Systems. Auxiliary Power Configuration Offense. Torpedo Pre-Fire Sequence. These two are a must-have for any torpedo boat. Omega kinetic sharing is number 2. It comes up to number 1 if and only if the target can live longer than 2.5 seconds. It used to be 3 before the changes. I actually opened up the window there. So 9 times out of 10, Omega kinetic sharing is great. Especially with the changes that they recently made. See one of the other videos for the full details. Torpedo pre-fire sequence is our only major Cat 2 source of damage. We gotta love it. So that's there. I would advanced targeting systems because I love crit D and I have probability manipulation. So if I wasn't a baddie and I actually popped it, 50% crit hit, boom, target's gone. I should have been able to pop it at least twice in that run. I didn't, again, because I'm a baddie. Don't be a baddie. Pop it. Pop it often. Watch your numbers skyrocket. Enhanced armor penetration. I picked this one over the other control effect. Or if you need a little bit more native crit hit for whatever reason, you could have picked precision. But the control effect one is... where is it? Controlled... bonus energy weapon and projectile weapon damage. It's supposed to be a Cat 2 bonus. This will be nice when you use jam target sensors on the target or whatnot. But I decided I need something a little bit more always on. And I wanted to stack this. They really need to change the percentage number here to something else. But I wanted to stack this along with this console and this right here for the extra armor pen. Obviously, it paid off. So let me load up this bad boy here and see exactly... I'll include a screenshot of it later. I'm loading up on my other computer right now. We want to load it up there and see exactly what happened here. And I do love bops, man. Why can't Cryptic change the console on the Warhead console on the core to photons? Because that would fit the theme for it so well. So damn well. Max 1 hit 683k. Where the hell did that come from? Where the hell did that come from? Oh, the Warhead module. When I popped it on the gateway after I rammed it full of Delphic torpedoes here. Then I used this Warhead module after the target's been properly debuffed. So I have Beta 1 as a debuff. I have Chemosite as a debuff. I have this torpedo as a debuff. And then anything else that I throw at it will damage it some and add a debuff. Plus other players' debuffs add to it too. And then this Warhead, all 6 charges rammed into it. Almost 700k right off of that. So that poor gateway decided to go wah, wah, wah. Goodbye. Other than that, Neutronic Heavy was my biggest damage, my biggest DPS at 12.3k. Neutronic Torpedo Heavy 1. That means firing a lot of high yield ones. Did a lot of damage to a lot of targets. Mega Kinetic Sharing was number 2 at 11.4k. Quantum Phase Torpedo Spread 3 was 9.5k. The Quantum Mine was 9.1k, even though I didn't deploy that many of them. Pretty damn good. Quantum Phase Transfer, that's the transfer from the Quantum Phase Torpedo itself. Did 7k. If I had more Drain X, instead of loading up with this here, I could have moved these up and then put at least some Drain X, so a little bit more drain somewhere in here, like using the Terran Deflector, for example. Would have had a little bit more drain from that. It'll also help the Neutronic Torpedo as far as dropping shields and all power levels for all that, for whatever enemies it hits. Warhead module did 5.9k, which was that one attack did 5.9k DPS. The Delphic Distortion Torpedo High Yield 1, 5.6. Neutronic Heavy 3, 5.5. And then the rest of it is just in the low 4s or just whatever. But it did damn good. Much better than I thought. I dropped, anchored, for this type of ship, because I'm not going to get to the area that I want to start firing at really quickly, sit there while waiting for anchor stacks to build, and then shoot. I'm already using improved pedal to the metal. I'm flying around like a madman in the ship anyway. This ship lives whenever it flies at its maximum speed. Its defense is there. It relies on not being hit so much, you know, for it to be survivable. And that is the way I am living with this ship now. If I brought out my Manticore, if I brought out the Terran command, the command battlecruiser, the tactical one, I would use anchored. In this case, I did not. I just needed something a little bit more shield advanced healing on that. Whenever I'm activating bridge officer abilities, automated rerouting worked perfectly fine for what I needed to do. Other than that, I just had fun with this thing. I just went around, blew up stuff. This trait came with the ship, so Weathering Barrage is there. If you don't have this this trait, you can use pretty much anything else, really. Yeah, I do have a lot of traits here. Let me see. Unconventional tactics, that's definitely free whenever you fill out strategist, so you can definitely have that there. Standoff helps whenever you're staying in front of the targets, although it did not help with attacking the gateway and the two transformers, because you were by default are attacking their aft. So standoff did not come into play with this at all. It came into play against the spheres and the tac cube. Torpedo barrage, this is a rich man's trait. I know that. Until Cryptic does something else to stop making it be a rich man's trait. If you didn't get it early on when it was relatively cheap, you're out of luck. Sorry. But you can replace that with... what would be a good thing to replace it with? So we already have 2 free traits here. And we can use the 3 other ones here to probably help out. Overwhelming Force is relatively cheap. And the shockwaves, they actually do get boosted with part gens. So you can always use that or help them control. They unfortunately do not trigger any control effects that would work for stuff like invasive control programming or the Cat 2 bonus down here from the Space Reputation. Wish it did, because then that would make this all that much more valuable. But you can use Overwhelming Force. It's relatively... Actually, it is dirt cheap right now in the exchange, so you can get that. What else is there? Pretty much any other trait you can get your hands on would work fine for you. Once you get the... See, here's another thing you can actually look at here from build options. Because I went in... I did not use intelligence officer specialization. If I did, I'd had a little bit more hull penetration and shield penetration by using this right here, intelligence fleet, But since I did not have intel active, this was not usable in there. What I did though is I used temporal in order to give me a bit more survivability. That's the only real thing here that I'm using this for. This right here, continuity, completely filled out. If I'm going to go to die, well, it saves me a little bit and puts me out of harm's way. I can still fire. Most times it puts me out of harm's way. There are a couple times it put me right inside the bloody gateway and I couldn't move at all until it was dead. So that's that. So you don't need invincible if you have continuity. And right now they don't operate properly here until continuity is on a cooldown for a long enough time period, then invincible can kick in. But if you don't have it, you want to get a little bit more DPS oomph. Like, say, for example, somebody's nice and they're firing an all-beam array cruiser with you and they're putting in command as a primary or secondary, probably a primary, because you want strategist as your secondary, then you can slot command as your primary. Get a bit more punch out of your torpedoes that way, and whenever they trigger this scan for weakness, you gain the benefit of everything under scan for weakness. And this is a bit more powerful than what you get out of this armor pen right here. That is just freaking phenomenally good. So if you actually have a teammate that wants to boost your torpedo damage, you buy them lunch, you buy them a steak dinner, and you tell them to slot command as their primary and strategist as their secondary, and they go and tank the hell out of anything that's out there. And again, it's just for fun. But yeah, the rest of it is there. Helmsman to move faster. If I was in a baddie, I would activate this a lot more often. I've also activated this a lot more often too. Blah blah blah. The core of the build itself has not changed much. You know, I'm still using the matter antimatter specialist. I put more Hamlets here. If you are Lobby rich, you can get the TAC team buff. You'll also want to save up for the NX ship that's coming out in the Lobby. That way you can go buy that and use that console, which I'm going to do here, and slot it in here. Probably going to end up dropping this or ditching this completely and slotting that console in here. And that way you're going to fire this really slow-moving blah, blah, blah. But I want to boost photon damage as well, so it's going to be one big ball of photon destruction that's spewing out more photon torpedoes. Cryptic Rock, I'm going to make fun of you here for a second, but it's all out of love. I think you and somebody else was staying up way too late in the office with way too many Red Bulls and vodkas, and you just thought of, hey, here's a great idea. Let's spew out a nice little photon torpedo that moves really slow, but it shoots out all sorts of photon torpedoes at normal speed as it's moving to its main target. Yeah! We love you guys. Really, we do. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits here. Stay tuned for the show tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 2 or 3 a.m. Zulu time. On Thursday, we love you all. See you out there.